right, it's a beautiful Wednesday morning to you right here from the studios of Rave 91.7 FM, that place where we define every bit of your moment, that place where we bring you amazing music and spice it up with quality talk. Thank you very much for joining us right here on the program Frank Talk this morning. My name is Femi Olanipekun. I'm your regular host on the program. Well, on Frank Talk, we take a look at trending issues and the policy. We bring these issues closer to you, help you to have a better understanding of these issues, and of course, I have a deeper insight into why these issues are happening in the policy. We look at politics and we look at policies. Politics split up by politicians and policies as mapped out by our policy makers. Well, today we are returning to the education sector. Tertiary education, once again, bedeviled in so many places by so many challenges. Well, last week we had one edition of Frank Talk on the crisis rocking the Ladoke Akintola University of Technology in Ogbomoso, and well, the matters came to a head on Monday with the Academic Staff Union of Universities in that particular institution embarking on an indefinite strike, making the matters even more protracted. Well, institutions in Nigeria have had their own fair shares. Remember, sometimes it was OAU, now been resolved, and all over, really, it seems that that sector is facing diverse challenges. Today, we are going to the Osun State College of Education in Ila Orangun, where there's been some issues also. The staff there, workers, lecturers, and non-academic staff also have embarked on what they claim is a walk to rule. They've not been attending to students, maybe to some other functions. We get to know more about that. We have officials of the unions right here with us in the studio today. We made repeated efforts to get across to the management of the institution, repeated efforts, but then at the moment it's not successful. We'll still keep on trying to get across to them and to get them to come on Frank Talk. But then this morning, to put these issues affecting that institution, as it were, today in proper perspectives, I'm joined in the studio by Mr. Bidemi Adeboye. He's the Secretary of the Colleges of Education Academic Staff Union, COESU, OSCOED Ila Orangun Chapter. Thank you very much for joining us this morning on Frank Talk, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator.
Well, thank you.
Good morning, Nigerians.
Okay, thank you for joining us on the program here this morning. Mr. Bidemi Adeboye is here. Adeboye, thank you very much. Okay. Is here on behalf of COESU, as well as the two other unions in that institution, the Non-Academic Staff Union of Tertiary and Allied Institutions, OSCOED Ila Chapter, and also SSUCOEN, the Senior Staff Union of Colleges of Education in Nigeria, Ila Orangun, OSCOED Chapter Ila Orangun. It seems that all of the unions are united in this particular struggle.
Yes, this struggle is a collective struggle. It's a struggle of the Forum of Staff Unions, comprising the Colleges of Education Academic Staff Union, as you have mentioned, the Non-Academic Staff Union, and the SSUCOEN. Okay.
Well, at the moment, staff members of that institution are on what you call a walk to rule. That technically, that is, you are on strike.
No, we will not subscribe to the idea of a strike, because in the real sense, we are not on strike. The staffers are not on strike. As at this moment, as we speak, if you check the campus, the staff are right now on the campus. On daily basis, we report at work. We make government to understand, because when the protest started, when this issue started, we went to the government. We went to the APC. We informed all the stakeholders that this issue is not a face-off between the staff and the government. We don't have anything against the government. And that is why our unions have not declared a strike, but a walk to rule. A walk to rule is a situation whereby staff report at work, but they refuse to carry out official activities.
So all members of staff of cutting across the three unions, yes, report to work, but then you've got to
on daily basis
your duties
on daily basis, because even as we speak, those that are supposed to give us, to assign, to delegate official assignment to us, they are not on the campus. Why we report on the campus? Our principal officers, our management team are not on the campus.
Okay, tell us really, just trying to build it from a base now, why are you staff of OSCOED Ila on this work to rule?
Thank you, Mr. Femi. The work to rule embarked upon by, declared by our unions, started on the 23rd of August this year. But there were some events that precipitated, that led to the declaration of the work to rule. All along, as unions, we have tried to maintain a kind of a decorum. We have tried to try to pacify, try to endure all forms of molestations at our place of work because of the presence of somebody, the chairman governing council, Mr. Niyi Akande. There is a situation that we describe now as a gross abuse of office. But all along, in the interest of our students, in the interest of the government, because we don't want, as I've said earlier on, a situation that will look as if we are fighting the government. All along, we have been trying to endure. But it has gotten to a point, it got to a stage where we could no longer bear it any longer. And we have to cry out to the public.
What do you mean when you say gross abuse of office? This particular crisis in the college is because of just one person.
Yes.
That's the chairman of the governing council, Mr. Niyi Akande. And you said because of gross abuse of office. Yes. What really have you termed gross abuse of office?
Thank you, sir. What we termed gross abuse of office can be viewed from 3 points of view. 3 points of view. The first one is what we call victimization and witch hunting of staff. Sure. The second aspect has to do with financial high-handedness and embezzlement of the college's IGR by Mr. Niyi Akande and his and other members of the governing council of the college.
Well, these are allegations, weighty allegations. I wonder, do you have evidence? Because just coming on air, it may not be appropriate to just level allegations. You're talking about victimization and witch hunting of staff.
We are responsible.
You talk about financial high-handedness and investment of college funds.
We are responsible unions. As I've told you earlier on, we have tried to endure for so long. But before our unions could embark on a work to rule, or before we can declare a situation like this, we had moved around. We had interacted with the stakeholders, and each time we are on the move, we move with facts and figures as unions. And of course, you know that our national bodies will sanction us for making any allegation as a union against anybody without backing it up with evidences. So all along, in fact, it may interest you to know that about 3 weeks ago, we met Mr. Governor. But we spoke on all these allegations, and we presented to Mr. Governor facts and figures, documents, hard papers to justify, to support all these claims.
So you said 3 viewpoints now, but you talked about victimization and financial high-handedness. Yes. What about the third one? And then I'd like you to give us the instances.
Okay. The third one is administrative impunity and the miscarriage of justice.
So how has this been happening, and when did this really started?
Okay, thank you, sir. Mr. Niyi Akande led governing council came in 2013, in June 2013. And his pronouncement by Mr. Governor was welcome with jubilation and euphoria, because looking at where he came from, we saw that he's linked with our highly referred Chief Bidemi Adeboye, who at one time had led the state as the governor and had done creditably well. We have the legacies spread over the state today. Even though the IGR and the IGR of the state and the allocations from the federal government then was so meager and dwindling, the governor still, Chief Bidemi Adeboye, still performed creditably well. And the legacies speak today. So we thought that coming from that background, Mr. Niyi Akande will be able to transform, cause a positive turnaround on our college. So we jubilated, we celebrated his announcement. But as he came in and events began to unfold, we noticed a sharp departure and contrary to the ethics of a good standard and fiscal sincerity that his elder brother, Chief Bidemi Adeboye, is noted with. As I've said the other time, there are instances, we have summarized our allegations against Chief Bidemi Adeboye into three, against Mr. Niyi Akande into three. Okay? When we talk of victimization and witch hunting of staff, as a chairman council, the first thing Mr. Niyi Akande did was to come out with with some publications. The first one he called Agenda Setting for Tertiary Institution, and in that book, he rubbished all the staff of the college. He said that none of us was qualified. The text is there, and it speaks for itself that we are not qualified, that we are all thieves, and so on and so forth. He also published, ditto for the second one, that he published Facts and Fictions. He also came up with so many junks, in form of emails, e-messages, and sometimes he even addressed live audiences, gatherings in Ila Orangun, tarnishing our image. As we speak to you today, we have 145 academic staff in the college, and no fewer than 30 of them are PhD holders. Majority, no fewer than 125, 130 out of the 145 with master's degrees, various master's degrees, and we have close to about 100 pursuing their PhD programs as we speak now, both within and outside the country. So we see that as a way of victimizing and trying to give our dog a bad name in order to hang it.
Was that supposed to, push you to probably get better in your job? One wonders why you categorize that as victimization. If he's saying, maybe we're saying, the best is not good enough at this particular point in time, you need to raise the ante, you need to do better, get better qualification. Is that what you were saying at that time?
The system under which we are working as a regulatory body, there are qualifications at the entry point. At the entry point, you come in as with first degree as an assistant lecturer. There is a point of termination if you do not possess higher qualifications, like masters, for instance. You cannot move beyond L1, and so on and so forth. So, and this standard has been upheld over the years, and that has not made our members to lag behind. But as I've spoken to you,
the qualification, the publication you said was published by Mr. Niyi Akande.
Yes,
does that alone amount to victimization?
We see it as a blackmail. We see it as victimization, and moreover, coming from somebody who is supposed to be a father. If he has presented a true picture, that wouldn't have been arguable.
Did the unions reach out to him after the publication to say, well, this
of course
is
we did. Of course we met him sometimes in August last year. I was part of the leaders that met him, and we told him, we drew his attention to it. In fact, one of the members of the governing council wanted to even argue with us at the first instance, but he said no, that we met him, we interfaced with him. So apart from that, we have a issue of frivolous petitions. The chairman council using his office to victimize members of staff by writing frivolous petitions. Specifically, on November 19th, 2015, some of us leaders of the union, 14 of us, were invited to the state CID, Osogbo, on the allegation from Mr. Niyi Akande, alleging threat to his life. He mentioned in the petition that we held our congress on the 26th of October, where we made him the subject matter, and we said we were going to deal with him. Eventually, that petition turned out to be false because no congress was ever held on that day. Apart from that, there are other instances. For instance, on the 23rd of August, this year, about 7 of us were invited, to the police, divisional police headquarters, Zone A, in Division A in Ila Orangun. And presently, as we speak, there is another frivolous petition written against 8 members of the staff, including the person speaking, where he alleged where the signature of the registrar of the college was forged by the chief executive. The registrar has come out to disclaim that petition. In the petition, it was alleged that 8 of us were planning to kidnap the registrar. It was alleged that we were going to set ablaze houses of community chiefs in Ila Orangun. It was alleged that we were going to use court boys, miscreants, and thugs to cause mayhem.
Have you at any time, Mr. Adeboye, I'm just to ask you, if there seems not to be a charming relationship between you, members of staff of Ila Orangun, maybe the unions now, maybe the union leaders, and the chairman of the governing council, have you at any time, during any congress, promised about a statement to the effect that you are going to take up steps or deal with the chairman of the governing council that could have laid the foundation upon which you claim he wrote some of those petitions?
I will tell you absolutely no, sir. I am the secretary of my union. There is no time, and not until 23rd of August, when the 3 congresses through our joint union declared a walk to rule. Mr. Niyi Akande has been having free access to the campus. He has never been molested. He has never been waylaid. In fact, he presided over an APDC meeting, which was supposed to be presided over by the provost of the college.
What is the APDC?
APDC is an acronym which means the Appointment Promotion and Disciplinary Committee. That committee is supposed to be chaired by the provost, but that is another area that we may likely speak on in the course of this discussion. Mr. Niyi Akande has hijacked virtually almost all the systems in the college. On the 18th of August this year, he presided over the AP and DC meeting, which was supposed to be chaired by the provost, where he forced his whimsical decisions on the committee. And on the 19th of August, the following day, he chairman the governing council meeting, which took decisions that led to this situation.
What was that decision at that point in time?
Thank you, sir. One of the decisions taken there was that the deputy provost, the newly elected deputy provost, Mr. Femi Adekale, who was supposed to be given a letter of office, was asked to be placed on suspension, on summary suspension.
Why was
without
that?
On a frivolous allegation. He alleged that sometimes in 2013 that Mr. Adekale was among the 3-member committee set up to go to JAMB in Abuja for regularization of admission issue. So why is he bringing up this matter now? Because he felt that Mr. Adekale, going by his antecedents, was formerly COESU, chapter COESU chairman. He was formerly the state chairman of academic staff. And what Mr. Niyi Akande is doing presently is to build a management team that will serve as a rubber stamp for his unpopular decisions and activities. He succeeded first by bringing Professor Yinka Oyewole to that college. Before Professor Yinka Oyewole was brought in November last year, there was an interview for the appointment of a substantive provost. Professor Yinka Oyewole never applied. He was not among the applicants. He was not shortlisted. He was not invited for an interview. But at a point when the interview was held, the incumbent acting provost then, Dr. Basiru Gbadamosi, led the interview. He scored the highest point. But because at a particular point in time, Dr. Basiru Gbadamosi, the acting provost, fell out of favor with Mr. Niyi Akande, he ensured that interview, the result of that interview, was scuttled. How did you know that, Mr. Gbadamosi or Dr. Gbadamosi scored the highest? Were you part of the report was sent to, was letter sent, presented. It's not a secret. The interview process or whatever It's never a hidden.
So, in other words, the unions also are having issues with the provost of the college.
When he came, we never had any problem with him, because when he came, initially our members wanted to react because they challenged the process of his appointment. This is somebody that is coming from a private university, Babcock University, Ilisaremo. Is an indigent. He was brought by Mr. Niyi Akande, as I've said earlier on. But by the time he came, some of our colleagues who happened to have known him over the years told us they calmed us down. In fact, they appealed to us that we should allow peace to reign. Since he's an Elaman and they all know him very well, and he's a professor, he will bring his wealth of experience to help the college to grow. And that was why we were calmed. We never had any problem with him until recently. And the problem we are having with him as I speak, by the time our unions declared a walk to rule, we never had any problem with the provost. Our grouse was with Mr. Niyi Akande. But presently, we are having problem with the provost even himself.
What's the problem?
And the problem we are having has to do with the forging of the registrar's signature and the provost impersonating the registrar.
How are you sure? Why? You're making such claims. How do you know it was the provost who impersonated or, as you claim, forged the signature of the registrar?
Thank you, sir. A petition was allegedly written by the registrar of the college. Written and signed by the registrar of the college. It is the registrar, it behoves on the registrar to then take the petition to whoever or wherever he wants to take it to. But as I told you, the registrar has come out in clear terms. He has even written to dissociate himself from the petition. He has written a disclaimer. But what we observe is that, I told you we were invited to the state SIB, about 2 weeks ago. We were there. On Thursday last week, we were summoned for the second invitation. When you look at the case file, name and address of the complainant, what you find on it is Professor Isaac Oyewole as the complainant. But Professor Isaac Oyewole, Professor Yinka Oyewole wrote a statement as the complainant. Then who is the complainant? Apart from that, when you look at the petition written, the petition written has the phone number of the registrar under the name and signature of the registrar. It has the phone number of the provost. And each time the IPOs, the investigating police officers, call on the petitioner, they assume the petitioner, the registrar, it is the provost they speak with indirectly. And he has been coming to give evidences, to speak on a petition that he never written in the first instance. So, when you had 2 + 2 together?
Okay, well, you also talked about financial high-handedness, and that one is so such a weighty one. What evidence have you as regards saying financial high-handedness and engagement of college funds?
I said earlier on that Mr. Niyi Akande wrote in prints and in speeches alleged members of staff are thieves. Okay, at a point the college was having difficulty in paying the allowances and the stipends of the staff as a result of the engagement in the sundry college activities. And each time as unions we go to the management to plead with them, they will tell us no money. Then that made us to launch, to carry out investigations, because our members are the ones, taking records of the money, how money come in. So at a point what we saw was mouth watering. It was a can of worm. And as I've said, you discover that there are situations, whereby somebody who calls himself an indigent of a town collects 15,000 naira. Mr. Niyi Akande collects 15,000 naira as hotel allowances per night. In Ila today, the highest hotel rate is 5,000 naira. Since 2013, when he came, he has been collecting 15,000 naira. Sometimes he will claim he spends 2 nights or 3 nights in Ila Orangun. apart from that, when he was appointed as the chairman council, the college procured a brand new Toyota Avensis for him. He claims to be staying in Abuja, no problem. But each time he comes to the campus, he comes through Ekiti, Axis, Kogi, Ekiti, through this neighboring Ekiti town, you know, to Ila Orangun. But to our surprise, he will claim, by the time he will make his claim, he would claim that he took flight from Abuja to Lagos. He will claim for flight. He will claim that he spent a night in hotel in Ila, 30,000 naira. He will claim that from Lagos, he came to Ila Orangun and he spent maybe 2 nights, 30,000, or 3 nights, 45,000 naira, where he has a personal building, where our referred chief, Bidemi Adeboye, his elder brother, has a building where he can stay. If somebody has come to say they have come to develop an institution, they should not, cripple the IDR of the. We have evidences for all these things I am saying. And excuse me, sir, there is a particular one, the issue of the amphitheater. As we speak, the TED Fund is a federal government educational trust fund, assists tertiary institutions in Nigeria and our college inclusive. There's a particular project brought in 2013. That is amphitheater. It's a 1,500 capacity seater. The sum of 107 million naira was released for this project. As we speak today, the foundation of that project has not been completed. And in addition to having spent to the college claim of having spent that 107 million naira, they are even claiming to have spent additional 20 million from the college's IGR. But when we launched our investigations, we discovered that there was a kind of a shoddy deal. The contractor left the site, complaining that there was no money again. And by the time we did our investigation, we discovered that about 41 million naira was paid into the account of one of the council's members. And this amount was later shared among the 4 members, among other members of the governing council. We wrote a petition on this issue. On this issue we are discussing. We wrote to the ICPC, we wrote to the EFCC early this year. Before then, we had written to the government. We wrote to His Excellency, the Governor of the state, and his letter was received in his office on the 15th of December, 2015. Ditto for the Deputy Governor, Her Excellency, who also doubles as the Commissioner for Education, and the Speaker, House of Assembly, and other government functionaries. When we discovered that we were not getting any response, our members directed that the union should write the EFCC, the anti-graft agencies. As we speak today, the EFCC is making progress on this issue of the of embezzlement, of financial high-handedness on the college. Not only the issue of the amphitheater, but other sundry issues, other similar issues. As we speak, some of these people, the EFCC have invited them. The EFCC, at a particular point in time, invited Mr. Niyi Akande and even detained him. He was granted an administrative bail. And unfortunately, Professor Yinka Oyewole, the provost of the college, even used our money, went to the college's IGR to bring out about 300,000 naira to bail the council chairman. So, as we speak now, they are making refund because right there at the FCC, as we were told, the linked person that distributed the money challenged them, told them, I gave you so amount. Mr. Niyi Akande, the council chairman, sir, this is the amount I gave to you. You can check it out. We are making claims with evidences. They are making refund to the EFCC now.
So, all of this, you claimed you've presented your position to the state government.
Yes.
What's been the response of the government to this?
We met His Excellency, the Deputy Governor, as I said, about 3 weeks ago. When we met him, in fact, we want to use this medium to appreciate our governor. Because sometimes when we challenge our management, when we challenge our council, they tell us, the directive to carry out so events or activity came from Mr. Governor. But interestingly, when the House invited them on January 11th, they told the public that Mr. Governor was not aware of all these things they are doing. We have written, as I said the other time, we wrote Mr. Governor on several occasions. But we discovered, findings recently have shown that all our correspondences were usually intercepted. They were not allowed to get to Mr. Governor. But thank God, as I said, Mr. Governor met us and he listened to us with rapt attention. We presented all these things we are saying with facts and figures, and papers, and we told him that, Mr. Governor, sir, we were aware that our correspondences were not allowed to get across to you, but as it is now, we thank God. So Mr. Governor promised us that he was going to look into these issues, these matters, and was going to study the documents we presented to him. And he pleaded that we should give him about 2 to 3 weeks. That he was likely going to invite us back and possibly invite Mr. Niyi Akande, the Chairman Governing Council, to sit together so that we can find a lasting solution to this matter.
And, have you made efforts also? All of these allegations you're making, very, very weighty. Sometimes, one thinks it's even wild. You have been trying to substantiate. You still have to substantiate. And then, like we said, we're making repeated efforts to get the management of the college to come. But then, have you met the chairman of the governing council himself, the person you seem to be having the issues with? What is the outcome of your meeting with him, if you've met him at all?
As I said earlier on, the last time he gave us audience, we had written severally to the management. The management will say, it was the chairman council that directed that we take this decision. Okay, let's meet the chairman. We had written severally, but he has not made himself available. Contrary to what happens elsewhere, in other institutions, chairman council would meet the members of staff. Before Mr. Niyi Akande was appointed, we had council chairmen, even some of them that happen to be indigenes of Ila, like Dr. Yinka Wolabi, like Honorable Akintitiloye. They sometimes at regular interval they met with us. But in the case of Mr. Niyi Akande, he has never been making himself available to us. The last time we met him was August last year, and that was during the strike. And that day, he said, I would have met you, but I was afraid because then we had a salary issues crisis all over Nigeria, not only Osun. And though our governor was making efforts, nothing seemed to be forthcoming then. But by the time he called us, he was saying, because I knew the state government was owing you about 8-9 months salaries, I was afraid of calling. We said, why should you be afraid, sir? You are our father. The father should not be afraid of interacting with his children. That day we discussed like father and children. We had some understanding. But to our surprise, about 2 or 3 days later, Mr. Niyi Akande gathered some people in Ila and began to tell them another thing, strange stories. So we have been trying to reach him. Our managements are there. We meet them at regular interval.
But are you considering the interest of the students in all of this? Because as our people say, when two elephants fight, it is the grass that suffers. It's the students who are a major stakeholder in all of these also that will suffer in the long run. Are you considering your own interest also in resolving this particular crisis?
Thank you, sir. In this situation, we sympathize with our students. We really empathize with them. And ever since this work to rule, this struggle has begun, we have had courses to interact with them at their own instances. Anytime they feel like seeking clarifications from us, but we discuss with them generally. Yesterday, the President SUG called me to ask to get an update. I gave. So there has been a constant interaction between us at their own instance. And each time we interact with them, we assure them that very, very soon this crisis will be over. And one interesting thing is that when you check the college, you discover that many of us have our own biological children among them, and they are quite aware of all these things. Our own biological, not distance relations, but close, our own biological children. They are there among them. But and that, as I said the other time, will have informed why we have endured this much. But by the grace of God, there are some consultations going on And we hope that just as Mr. Governor, one of which was our interaction with Mr. Governor, we hope that very, very soon, within days, in a matter of days, this crisis will be over.
Well, talking earlier on, you talked about administrative impunity and miscarriage of justice, and
yes.
Made reference to admissions somewhat. What really is there was a time, back then that there was a rumor that the state government had stopped admission into its tertiary institutions. What's the state of things in your own institution now?
Once again, we want to thank Mr. Governor for wading in, because when this issue of the stoppage of admission came in, what our management told us was that the council had gotten the approval of Mr. Governor to carry out restructuring of the 4 tertiary institutions, and as a result of which Mr. Governor has ordered that they should stop admission. But we later discovered that Mr. Governor had no hand in it. In fact, it was our council that wrote to JAMB. Apparently, out of misinformation given presented to Mr. Governor, that admission should be stopped. So then we cried out. We were moving around the media that the masses, the public, should save us, should save our institutions. You don't have to shut down an institution before you restructure it. Why students, why the system is running, you don't cut off a head because you want to cure a headache. You have to. There are some things that you do, but at a particular point in time, the embargo was lifted. So we were told. But to our surprise now, other institutions are admitting. They are announcing that, in fact, as we speak, Ire, SSUCOEN, they are announcing resumption of a student. But at our own end, there is nothing like that. The management is not making any announcement concerning
Would that be
admission.
because of the crisis? The work to rule that...
No. The work to rule, as I said, started few days ago. But this crisis between the unions and the chairman of the governing council, is it because there is a personal hatred on the part of the union or the staff members for the chairman of the council, or like some people have alleged that the unions are being used by external forces to destabilize the school? No, I will not subscribe to that. As I have said earlier on, we have the issues on ground are quite clear. Victimization and witch hunting, I have given instances. Financial high-handedness and embarrassment and embezzlement, I have cited instances. Administrative impunity and miscarriage of justice. There is no environment where there is injustice that there will be peace.
All right, we open the line shortly now, and then we should stress really that these allegations made by the unions to our own side are still unsubstantiated. But then the unions have been trying to justify all of these. But like I said earlier at the beginning of the program, that we made repeated attempts to get across to the management to come and defend their own position also on the program here, and we'll keep doing that. Definitely, we allow for expression here, but then we condone substantive allegations, and then we definitely bring the other side to also hear their own view about this particular development right there in the Osun State College of Education in Ila Orangun. I've been speaking with Mr. Bidemi Adeboye, the Secretary of the College of Education Academic Staff Union of that particular institution, and he's representing the 3 unions in the school. We open the lines for you right now.
You can now join the conversation by calling 0703-175-9177, 0703-175-9177, and 0902-427-3808. You can equally make use of our social media platforms. For WhatsApp, 0703-175-9173, 0703-175-9173. Tweet at us at Rave917FM, and Facebook is Rave917FM. Do remember to turn down the volume on your radio set or move away from it. And please, let's keep our comments civil. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. We'd like you to keep your comments as short as possible and civil too. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you for joining us. So what's the name where you calling?
Yeah, this is Ola from Ile Ife.
Thank you, Mr. Ola.
Yeah, the problem we are having in this country is enormous. And the government is one of the big problems of this country. They cannot say they don't have the knowledge of the evil the council is perpetrating in Ila. No council single-handedly can perpetrate such evil.
What we should stress, Mr. Ola, that these are still allegations. We need to hear from the other side also before we make conclusions.
Let me tell you, my brother, Femi, if those ESCOs do not have the evidence, they will not have the audacity to come to here and come and make their points. Did you get it? That's just the point. Thank you. All
right. Thank you very much, Mr. Ola. Let's see messages on our WhatsApp page and on our social media handles also. We have another call coming in at the moment. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you for joining us. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Abdullah calling from Oshobo.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ajibade.
I want to thank Mr. Adeboye for the brilliant movement they have made as a junior in Ila Orangun. Sir, I want to tell you frankly that the problem we are having in Osun State College of Education in Ila Orangun is far more than what they are looking at this moment. Hello, sir.
I'm with you.
Sir, the issue of those who have completed their degree program, University of Uyo since 2014, they are still there pending. They are mobilized since 2014. Those who are in those who finish in 2015, they are still there.
All right. Okay.
At 400 level right now. What are they going to do about this problem, for God's sake?
All right. Thank you very much, Sir Jibade. This message reads, good morning. My name is Soliu Sadiq from Osun. My question is this: what's the reaction of Mr. Governor when they went to meet him, or what did the governor said he's going to do about it? Another call coming in here. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you for joining us, sir. What's the name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Kehinde from Otayigbaju.
Kehinde from Otayigbaju. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Okay. I want to appreciate Mr. Femi Olanipekun for bringing these people to this program this morning. We have been helping the society, especially our in shedding more light on some of the people or even.
Well, I'm afraid, Mr. Kehinde, you will have to call back. We could barely hear you. And you can also make use of the second line to call 0902-427-3808. That's the second line you can use also to call to be part of the program here today. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you for joining us. Mr. Olusegun from Osogbo. Nice.
Yes, sir. Actually, sincerely, the government needs to take a better look into our tertiary institutions. The evil being committed by all these council leadership are enormous, and they have an ally in the vice chancellors and in the provost, and the only thing that can stand them is the union at this point in time. Incidents are happening at FUNAP, OAU, and this Ila Orangun that we are talking about is enormous. Government needs to take a better look into what is happening in our institution.
Thank you very much, Mr. Olusegun. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you for joining us. Now, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Tunde. I'm calling from Osogbo.
Thank you, Mr. Tunde.
Hello?
I'm with you. Go ahead, please.
Oh, okay, yes. I think this issue is, unfortunate, so unfortunate, and I think the best way is for us to look at, a lasting solution. And it has to be very, we need to also understand that from both sides of the divide, there will be need for, measures to be taken that will lead to this solution. On the part of the unions, there is need for them to also know that, the essence of, a good institution to function well is for the human resources and the human capital to do the right thing. You can see someone who called in now and talking about instance of those who have graduated for so many years, and you see them being unable, they cannot leave the school because there's one or two courses is holding them back. A lecturer has not, turned in the result of one or two. There are so many instances of sorts. And on the part of the governing council too, they should know that for them to succeed, they need to work with there must be a synergy with the workforce. So for me, I think both sides need to really know the essence of why they are given the opportunity to function at this time like this, and then be ready to do the right thing. And be ready to do the right and follow the due process. So that it's not every time that the government must intervene as an external forces before things should be done. I think we are all mature people and they know the vision and the purpose of running an institution, and they should be able to do things at the right way.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Tunde. Another call coming in here. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us, sir. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Alaja Remu is my name, from Elisha.
Thank you very much, Alaja Remu.
We know Baba Kande, when he was the governor, the most prudent governor. But how can a relative of Baba Kande behave in such a way?
Alaja Remu, we should stress, like we said earlier on, that these are mere allegations that we expect the other side to also substantiate.
Excuse me, sir. But with the petition these people have written to the EFCC and the other party and the governor, I think the action should be quickly taken, because this thing is affecting our children. It's affecting our children. Really. Most of them are told now, eating our food, chopping, roaming about of the streets, and there's another face, an idle hand is being used by whatever this is. So let the action come immediately. All this, the past people in the government who embezzled, they arrest them, they do this, they do that. All these things should not be limited to that place alone.
All right.
All the people that anybody concerned with this embezzlement should be arrested and taken correct immediate steps.
Thank you very much, Alaji Aremu. We have another message here. Good morning. My name is Ajiboye Olanipekun. The union, the management, and the government should resolve this matter for the best interest of the students. Thanks. Another call here. Hello. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning, Mr. Femi.
Good morning, sir. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Shigo. I'm calling from Lelefe.
Thank you very much, Mr. Shigo.
First and foremost, Mr. Femi, all the time you are trying to be professional. I know deep down your mind, you know the fact. Now, concerning the issue of grant, I commend the secretary. But one thing I wanted to know, so you went to the governor, right? It's a good step to take, But I don't think you can leave out Baba Kande in this issue. I want to forget it. There's nothing that will be going on there that Baba Kande will not know about. And there's no way the governor can go against the wishes and, whatever Baba Kande want. So you should extend the invitation of, to solve it to also Baba Kande. Visit him and let him tell you, what to do.
Thank you very much, Mr. Shogo from Ile-Ife. We should stress again that, we need to get the other side of the story before we begin to make conclusions. Let me take this message before we pick the next call. It reads, good morning, Mr. Femi. You can see vividly that Nigeria's problems are beyond Buhari, but we Nigerians in the grassroots. How on earth would a man be exploiting government like that? Justice has to prevail in that school. Thanks. Let's take the next call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Femi. My name is Wole Oladapo.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wole Oladapo.
Secretary of the CSEOs. Please, one thing I want you to do.
Where are you calling from, Mr. Oladapo?
I am calling from Oshogbo. I am the Secretary of the Civil Societies Coalition for the Emancipation of Osun State.
Thank you for joining us.
We have taken this matter to the Economic and Financial Crime Commission. We have been invited. We have substantiated the allegation. One thing I want you to do for us in Rave FM is to ask EFCC where this matter has got into. It's a public issue. There is complacency. The Secretary of the Union has explicitly told you the situation in Ila Orangun, and there's a political conspiracy to kill these issues.
Well,
and EFCC has also been brought even into this matter to be politically silent on this matter. What you should do from here, you said you said these are mere allegations. The man has got documents, I am so sure, into the studio. We have documents that we have sent to EFCC. What I want to beg you for is to get to EFCC and find out where this matter has gotten to.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Ladako. Because of our time, but we should stress really that we need to get the other side of the story, and that we making concerted efforts to get the management of the institution, the chairman of the governing council, and then other senior management officials of the college. Really, we expect that the anti-graft agencies, in this case, we do what is right as regards the issues on ground. Let's take one or two more calls, then we go on the program here today. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us, sir. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I think from Milaguri.
Thank you very much, Mr. Akinpelu.
I think we religionists, when we believe in Quran or we believe in Bible, you will never see
Allah, God, Muhammad, or Jesus before you believe them. It is true what is written. And document has been submitted before you. And this all this explanation, backing up with evidence, even if it is oral, we can see that these people are talking true. Even if not all. Government has its own part to be taken. And what has still been taken? What step has still been taken since that time? Even if we do not have our children there, that is an issue affecting the state and that we affect the nation at large. And nothing important has been taken. So is the children there going to be suffered? Somebody has of Uyo University something program. For how long are we going to be keeping people there without result? So if we are keeping people there without result, that means we do not expect any good result from this Osun state.
All right. Okay. Because of our time, Mr. Akipelu, would you just have to cut in here quickly? We'll return to Mr. Adeboye, who is Secretary of COESU in our institution. Our phone lines are still buzzing, but because of our time, we really need to return to him right now. Someone called, a student, I believe, called about how these crises, maybe even before now, has been affecting them. That even students of University of Uyo, the degree program in that school, who finished their program years back, have not been able to go. That should be an indictment on the lecturers themselves also.
Thank you. Quickly, let me react to that. The issue of University of Uyo is an affiliation. It's an affiliation. University of Uyo degree program run by the college is an affiliation with the University of Uyo. And you know that normally when we are through at our own end, we moderate everything we do, we send our list to them, then they do the mobilization. So the mobilization is what they do at the main campus.
That is not your problem here.
But as we speak, concerning those who have just graduated, as a candidate, I want to believe is that person, that caller will be one of our candidates. As he said, even in the present situation, the unions have magnanimously allowed the director of that program, Dr. Bamibala, to take into custody all the files of the students. And as we speak now, they are compiling. They are doing the compilation for mobilization.
What delayed the compilation up to this moment?
Before, there are due process to be followed, even in tertiary, in the educational institution. Before we can be asked to mobilize, the Senate must have first approved.
The Senate of the host university
of the main campus must have first approved their result. The result of the graduating student. It is after then that they would now send for the list of mobilization. Well, that has just been done, and that is why we have allowed the director to go ahead with the mobilization. Right. As we speak now, the mobilization, the compilation is being done.
Okay, because of our time, we have to go now. But then someone also raised an issue. Have you reached out to Chief Bidemi Adeboye, who is an elder statesman, a former governor of the state? Have you reached out to him also on this issue?
As we speak, we have not had a direct interaction with him. Chief Bidemi Adeboye, as you would know, probably just came into the country to celebrate the Eid Kabir.
So you've not had an interaction with him on this?
We've not, but we have met some eminent personalities, and the feelers we have gotten is that even the governor, we got the feeler that the governor had interacted, came to Ila the second day of Ileya to discuss with Chief Bidemi Adeboye.
Okay,
we have gotten an information that even the Orangun of Ila had interacted with Chief Bidemi Adeboye. He came in Friday to Ileya celebration.
Well, we have to go now, Mr. Adeboye. Mr. Bidemi Adeboye, Secretary of the Colleges of Education Academic Staff Union of Osun College of Education, Ila Orangun Chapter. We appreciate you for coming. But all of what is said here, we should say, are still allegations. And then we, like we said, we tried very hard to bring the management, staff of the institution also to come on the program today, but then that was unsuccessful. But then we keep on trying. They need to come also to, defend their own position and react to what's been said here today. The chairman of the governing council and all other people involved in this. On Rave FM, we allow for expression, but then we like to substantiate claims whenever they are made. We thank you for joining us.
Thank you,
this morning on the program, Mr. Bidemi Adeboye. He was accompanied by Mr. Timothy Adewale Amuson, who is the chief lecturer in that institution. Also, we thank you for coming. We'd like to say big thanks also to you, dear listener, for being a part of our world right here on Frank Talk and Rave 91.7 FM. I'd like to say big thanks also to my team for being part of our world today. On behalf of the executive producer of the program, Femi Adefila, my name is Femi Olanipekun, asking you to have a great day. Good morning.